Ladies and gentlemen, the 67th Cyberspace Wing Chaplain Lieutenant Colonel McIntosh will now deliver the invocation.
Let us pause for a brief word of prayer. Holy and loving God, all authority comes from you as you place persons in positions of leadership. Therefore, to honor the leaders you place into position is to honor you. And we thank you for the leadership of Colonel Jeffrey Phillips and for the opportunity we have to witness this historic event in the life of our beloved 67th Cyberspace Wing. As we activate the 867th Cyber Operations Group, along with the 305th, 341st, and 375th Cyber Operations Squadrons, and redesignate our beloved 315th, 833rd, and 836th Cyber Operations Squadrons, we're mindful of the burden of leadership that comes with that. For we know that to whom much is given, much then is required. Therefore, Lord, we ask your wisdom and guidance upon Colonel Travis Howell as he assumes command of the 867th Cyber Operations Group, and upon each of the squadrons represented here today as part of both the 867th COG and the 67th COG. We thank you also for the faithful support of each commander's spouse and family as they take the guidon of authority and turn the page to a new and exciting chapter in the history of our wing. Empower, we pray, their leadership teams and those who support them, that we may collectively set a new standard of excellence across our wing as leaders in our nation's cyber arsenal. For this we ask in your most holy and precious name. Amen.
Thank you, Chaplain McIntosh. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today's ceremony has been named Inactivation, and Reassignment Ceremony because it is slightly different than the traditional military change of command. Today, one Air Force group will be activated and assigned under the 67th Cyberspace Wing, and 3 units will be inactivated, while 3 other units are reassigned under another chain of command. Today's ceremony is especially significant because today, the 18th of September 2020, is the 73rd birthday of the United States Air Force. Celebrating the Air Force's birthday is different from celebrating Memorial Day, Veterans Day, or Independence Day. September 18th is not a national holiday, but military members observe the occasion with events and activities in local communities, individual units, and squadrons, and most notably with an Air Force Ball. The mission of the United States Air Force is to fight, and win in air, space, and cyberspace. The 67th Cyberspace Wing has and will continue to play a key role in this mission. To acknowledge the significance of these events, Colonel Jeffrey A. Phillips, Commander, 67th Cyberspace Wing, will make some remarks, and we will read the special order of activation of the 867th Cyberspace Operations Group. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 67th Cyberspace Wing, Colonel Jeffrey A. Phillips.
What better day to have this ceremony than our Air Force's birthday? I'll start with some thank yous. So first and foremost, a huge thanks to our protocol and public affairs team. Cornell and Trevor continue to find ways to pull off these online ceremonies and make them special for everyone that is watching and attending in person. And we cannot do it without them, so thank you to you guys. I know there's a lot of senior leaders that have streamed in online, so thank you to all of you for taking the time to be with us today. Thank you to the families that were able to join us today. Karonica, Mr. Corshane, great to see you both. My lovely bride, Megan, thank you for being here and always supporting me and the Gunslinger family. Definitely appreciate it. A special welcome to the leadership team from the 70th ISR Wing, America's Cryptologic Wing. They made the trip south to join us today, and we are ecstatic to have them here. Finally, hello to the Roosters, Gunslingers, and other leaders that are attending this unique ceremony and watching it online. I talked to Colonel Tyler last night, and he asked me to make sure we highlighted a few individuals and teams that helped make this happen, help us get across the finish line. So I'd like to thank the 67th Cyber Wing staff. I'm sure Tracy King is watching online to make sure we get this done. She's been a key part of this. And the 70th ISR Wing staff. Also thanks to the ACC team and the half A26 teams that helped us with the coordination of the OCR and getting that approved. But a huge thanks to a few individuals that put a lot of work into this to make sure it happened. Colonels Mel Cunningham, Doug Smith, and Monty Canode were instrumental in architecting the design of this CMF unification, so thank you to them. Today we bring to fruition an idea that has been over 8 years in the making. The activation and redesignation activities we will complete today will bring unity of command and unity of effort to our Air Force Cyber Mission Forces, and ultimately increase the lethality that we can bring to bear against our adversaries. Today, as you've heard, we will stand up a new group, 3 new squadrons, redesignate 4 units, and deactivate some units to complete the Cyber Mission Force unification. As part of this reorganization, the 70th ISR Wing will transfer over 600 airmen and intelligence professionals to the 67th Cyberspace Wing. Roosters, be assured, the Gunslingers welcome you with open arms. As you join the team, I'd like to share with you our gunslinger ethos and what we think it means to be a gunslinger. 1, we are airmen and civilians committed to the profession of arms. 2, we are warfighters in a globally deployed combat wing. 4, we are bold. We believe in bold, audacious action with courageous and inspirational leadership. 5, we believe humans are more important than hardware. And 6, as gunslingers, we always have each other's backs. Each tenet of our ethos is woven through our wing lines of effort of mission, leadership, and culture powered by people. And when I say powered by people, I mean powered by you. So as we celebrate our Air Force birthday today, we also celebrate you, our airmen. Your diversity of background, experience, demographics, perspectives, thought, and organization are the lifeblood of the world's greatest Air Force, and I could not be more proud to be on your team. Roosters, welcome to the Gunslinger family. During the next part of this event, we will activate the 867th Cyberspace Operations Group. And I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the leader we've selected to stand up and command this new organization. Talk about the right airman at the right time, in the right job. Colonel Travis Howell has held jobs throughout his career that make him the unquestionable choice to lead the 867th COG. We needed someone that had experience in new organizations, and Travis has been part of standing up 2 new organizations. The 608th ACOMS as a young CGO, and the 833rd Cyberspace Operations Squadron as their commander. And now he will put that experience to use, again. We needed someone that understands the demands placed on our cyber mission forces. Travis has spent the last several years at U.S. Cyber Command at Fort Meade. He knows the mission, he has built the relationships, and best of all, he has access to get on the Cybercom complex. Lastly, we needed someone that loves airmen. I've known Travis since we were both captains, and I've met few people that have his passion for service. He took the same oath that we all took to support and defend our Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I know how seriously he takes that charge. I'm confident that we have the right airmen in the right job at the right time. Travis, leading America's airmen is the greatest privilege anyone can have. You also have the mission to defend our nation through cyberspace, and I'm thankful that we have you on the team to lead the way. But today we did not just gain Travis to our team, we also gained his family. His wife Diane, who is a retired Air Force colonel, and knows the levity of service to our nation. His daughter Hallie, who is training to be a chiropractor in Daytona Beach, Florida, and his sons Connor, Aiden, and Ethan. Connor's at school at the University of Central Florida, and Aiden and Ethan are high school back in Alexandria. So if you guys are watching today, Diane, Haley, Connor, Aiden, Ethan, welcome to the Gunslinger family. With that, thank you again for attending or viewing today's ceremony online, and let's light them up.
Thank you, Colonel Phillips. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the reading of the Special Order of Activation.
Follows the order.
Attention to orders. Special Order Golf Bravo TAC 118 dated 25 August 2020. The 867th Cyberspace Operations Group, Fort George G. Meade, Maryland, is activated and assigned to the 67th Cyberspace Wing, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas. Authority, Air Force Instruction. We will now perform the assumption of command. Colonel Howell, sir, please join Colonel Phillips at center stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the assumption of command. Colonel Phillips, sir, request permission to publish the orders.
Publish the order.
Attention to orders. Special Order Golf TAC 20, TAC 09, dated 18 September 2020. Colonel Travis G. Howell assumes command of the 867th Cyberspace Operations Group, Fort George G. Meade, Maryland, effective 18 September 2020. Signed, Colonel Jeffrey A. Phillips, Commander, 67th Cyberspace Wing. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seat.
Before Colonel Howell makes his comments, So as part of this, there's that for you. You can take it back with your suitcase. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce to you for the first time the Commander, 867th Cyberspace Operations Group, Colonel Travis G. Howell.
Good morning. What a great day for the United States Air Force, U.S. Cyber Command, and the nation as we activate this group. I know Major General Maluta is not with us today. I think he's zoomed in or connected in, so I wanted to do a shout out to him and his mentorship, not only for the Air Force, but for this community. Colonel Phillips, thank you for the kind comments and trust you and our Air Force leadership have placed in me. Colonel Velasco, Ms. Teresa Hawk, Chief Master Sergeant Hopkins, I look forward to supporting you all in your leadership roles as the command team for the 67th Cyberspace Wing. Fellow commanders, senior enlisted leaders, friends, spouses, and loved ones here in the room and around the country today, thank you for joining us on this historic day. I want to thank my family for observing today from Northern Virginia, Florida, and North Carolina. Thank you for your enduring support. I always get you, doesn't it? As I once again serve in a new opportunity that will undoubtedly make us all sacrifice time with each other. I am truly humbled and honored to be afforded the opportunity to command again, but I must admit I've got a great sense of hesitation as I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Colonel Phillips mentioned it's been 8 years in the making. It was only news to me about 3 weeks ago, and that was only after about 2 weeks of landing in a new job on the air staff. So I think I've set the record for the shortest air staff assignment, and it's something I am proud of. The squadrons that make up the 867th group, the 315th, 341st, 833rd, and 836th Cyberspace Operations Squadrons will allow the Air Force to consolidate how it presents forces to U.S. Cyber Command, specifically the Cyber National Mission Force. The airmen that make up these squadrons come from our information warfare career fields, mainly cyberspace and intelligence at the moment. They are already employed, engaged, and in pursuit of achieving operational outcomes against our adversaries. As we consolidate our force presentation, and we will continue to face challenges to training and readiness given their already established high operational tempo. As an example, the 315th Commander, Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Hudson, also known as Chong, won't join us today as we realign his squadron given the operational demands levied on him. The Air Force has allowed me the privilege of being a part of the Stand Up Now with 3 different organizations. The first was in 2003 under the 608th ACOMS. It was really the activation of a command and control unit. It's called the Air Force Network Operations and Security Center. It was under 8th Air Force at the time at Barksdale Air Force Base. In 2015, it was activating the 833rd Cyberspace Operations Squadron here in San Antonio, and now the 867th group up at Fort Meade. And all unique in their mission scope, but consistent and exceptional airmen, military, civilians, and contractors innovating and pursuing excellence in all their endeavors. I have no doubt we will continue to do the same as we move forward, merging squadron cultures and identities and forming a unique identity for the 867th Cyberspace Operations Group. I will endeavor to empower our airmen to be the best versions of themselves. The fight's on. Let's go to work.
Thank you, Colonel Howell. The Commander, 659th Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance Group, Colonel Brian W. Guarino, will make a few remarks and inactivate the 31st Intelligence Squadron and the 75th Intelligence Squadron. Colonel Guarino, sir, the floor is yours.
Good morning, and happy birthday to the United States Air Force. What an exciting day for both the 41st and 75th Intelligence Squadron, and to be an airman in the world's greatest Air Force. First, I'd just like to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guest, Major General Maluta, fellow commanders, chiefs, and the friends and family of the 70th ISR Wing and the 67th Cyberspace Wing. Whether you're here in person or watching online, we are honored that you have joined us. Most importantly, welcome to the men and women of the 659th ISR Group. Though non-traditional in format, today's ceremony nonetheless accomplishes the same purpose. It's a public and symbolic display of a transfer unit, your missions, and you, our Air Force's greatest asset. Thank you for leading on without pause, despite the seemingly universal change occurring around you and the challenges we've all faced during the ongoing pandemic. The 41st Intelligence Squadron, located at Fort George G, Maryland, is comprised of 224 airmen and civilians spanning 13 Air Force specialties supporting the Cyber National Mission Force. The squadron traces its lineage back to the 41st Radio Squadron Mobile, activated at Brooks Air Force Base, Texas in June 1951. The unit moved to Germany in December 1951 before deactivating in 1955. The squadron was officially activated on 26 September 2014 at Fort Meade, Maryland, with its current mission force. In the last 6 years, the squadron has not only grown from a conceptual design to an FMC force, but has matured into a combat lethal capability, executing cyber missions that directly strengthen the national security of the United States. Most recently focused on the defense of the upcoming U.S. presidential elections, the 41st continues to produce cyber effects that deter meddling and interference by foreign nation states. Through the deployment of Hunt Forward missions, the squadron has changed the paradigm of intelligence support to DCO by establishing a new approach of defending forward and persistent engagement for U.S. Cybercom. Finally, understanding the force multiplying effect our TFI partners bring to the fight, the 41st is fully integrated with our reserve and guard forces, providing increased capacity and expertise to the mission. The 75th Intelligence Squadron is descended from and reactivation of the 75th Radio Squadron Mobile, which was activated on 20 June 1953. Inactivated shortly after November 1953, the squadron was reconstituted and redesignated the 75th Intelligence Squadron on 20 August 2015. Today, the 75th Intelligence Squadron presents a cadre of airmen that encompass 9 different AFSCs, as well as civilian subject matter experts. Approximately 200 cyber wolves are battle rostered to either a combat mission team or a combat support team under Joint Force Headquarters Air Force. In this capacity, they provide ISR support to the combat commanders' campaign and contingency plans for cyber fires. In the 5 short years under the 659th ISR Group, the 75th has enabled over 3,000 cyberspace operations, identifying over 189 separate effects across multiple lines of effort. In doing so, the team has armed combatant commanders with 37 targets, directly supporting 3 O plans. Additionally, during the 2018 midterm elections, they identified foreign hostile of a presidential directed mission to support the defense of the elections. And finally, they steered the analysis of foreign financial targets that ultimately drove the U.S. Treasury to blacklist enemy assets. While the 659th is losing 2 entire squadrons, I'd be remiss if I didn't also highlight the transition of 73 airmen from the 5th Intelligence Squadron out of Fort Gordon, Georgia, 28 airmen from the 35th Intelligence Squadron located here in San Antonio, and the 112 airmen from the 37th Intelligence Squadron from Hawaii. The merging of these forces not only provides a force multiplying effect for the Air Force, but now a clear unity of command for our cyber forces. And in doing so, transform the presentation of cyber warriors to the Cyber National Mission Force and combatant commanders. While the 659th will miss the 600-plus airmen and unique operational cyber missions, I have no doubt the airmen of the 5th, the 35th, the 41st, 37th, and 75th Intelligence Squadrons will continue to excel, building increased capacity and capabilities at the speed of cyber. I am truly jealous of both Colonel Howell and Colonel Cortrane, as I will now be watching our cyber forces from the sidelines, and I wish you all the best of luck. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for this special event. And without further ado, let's proceed with the deactivation of the 41st and 75th Squadrons and the rest of the ceremony. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Guarino. At this time, Colonel Guarino will perform the inactivation of the 41st Intelligence Squadron and the 75th Intelligence Squadron. Will the superintendents of the 41st Intelligence Squadron and the 75th Intelligence Squadron please join Colonel Guarino on stage for the inactivation of your squadrons. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the inactivation orders. Colonel Guarino, sir, request permission to publish the inactivation orders. Attention to orders. Special order Golf Bravo TAC 118 dated 25th August 2020. The 41st Intelligence Squadron, Fort George G. Meade, Maryland, and the 75th Intelligence Squadron, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, are inactivated effective 18 September 2020. Signed, Colonel Brian W. Guarino, Commander, 659th Intelligence, Surveillance, and Reconnaissance Group. Please be seated. We will now perform the activation and reassignment of 3 different squadrons. Will Colonel Howell and Lieutenant Colonel Tyler J. Wintermote please come forward to activate the 341st Cyberspace Operations Squadron. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the activation and the assumption of command of the 341st Cyberspace Operations Squadron. Colonel Howell, sir, request permission to publish the activation orders. Attention to orders. Special order Golf TAC 20 TAC 12 dated 17 September 2020. The 341st Cyberspace Operations Squadron, Fort George G. Meade, Maryland. Lieutenant Colonel Tyler J. Wintermote assumes command of the 341st Cyberspace Operations Squadron. Signed, Colonel Jeffrey A. Phillips, Commander, 67th Cyberspace Wing. Colonel Lamont Atkins, please, sir, come forward for the reassignment of the 833rd and 836 Cyber Operations Squadrons. Will Lieutenant Colonel Zachary M. Smith and Lieutenant Colonel Francis R. Lyons please come forward to reassign the 833rd and 836 Cyberspace Operations Squadrons. Colonel Howell, sir, request permission to publish the reassignment orders. Colonel Howell, sir, request permission to publish the reassignment orders. Attention to orders. Special order Golf Bravo TAC 118 dated 25th August 2020. The 315 Cyberspace Operations Squadron, Fort George G. Meade, Maryland, and the 833rd and 836 Cyberspace Operations Squadrons, Joint Base San Antonio, Lackland, Texas, are reassigned to the 867th Cyberspace Operations Group. Signed, Colonel Jeffrey A. Phillips, Commander, 67th Cyberspace Wing. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. Thank you, Colonel Howell. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 67th Cyberspace Operations Group, Colonel Lauren Crushane, will make a few remarks and inactivate the detachment. First detachment, 67th Cyberspace Operations Group, inactivate the 305th and the 375th Cyberspace Operations Squadrons. Colonel Crushane, ma'am, the floor is yours.
I'd like to thank all of our friends, families, both here in Texas and virtually. I'd like to welcome our DVs. General Maluda, I know that you've zoomed in, so thank you for attending. I'd also like to say thank you to the 315th. Unfortunately, due to mission constraints, they couldn't be here today. And I'd like to welcome all of the Rough Riders that are listening. I know you all are watching virtually, and thank you for your attendance. I might be the only thing that is standing between you all and a well-deserved weekend, so I will do my best to keep my excitement contained and my remarks brief. But it is a great day to be an airman, and it is an even better day to be part of the 67th Cyber Operations Group. Not only is it the birthday of the greatest Air Force the world has ever known, but we are here to celebrate the success of a phenomenal group of airmen across the entire 67th Cyber Wing. And I am humbled and proud and excited to be a part of this team. I know no better. First, I want to welcome the Cyber Wolves of the 375th. I am excited that you're part of our team. You bring a force multiplier that we cannot wait to employ underneath the 67th Cyber Operations Group. Next, I'd like to welcome the Airmen of the 5th IS as you join the Airmen of the 67th COG Detachment 1 as we stand up the Ghost Riders of the 305th Cyber Operations Group. And much like Colonel Guarino stated, I'd like to welcome the airmen from the 70th Wing that are going to join the 390th and the 352nd. I am so excited that this ceremony has finally come to fruition. Today marks not only a historic event, but an unprecedented event. There are so many moving parts, but it doesn't even begin to talk to the moving parts that happen every day as we accomplish our mission within the cyberspace domain, and more importantly, within the 67th Cyberspace Operations Group. Just like the 315th couldn't be here today, it's because they are executing missions to ensure that we have free and fair democratic elections in a couple of months. They are ensuring that no adversary can take away what we know to be true within the United States of America. And I am proud that they have been part of our team. For a very long time, the Dragons of the 67th Cyber Operations Group and the 67th Group have been synonymous. The Squadron, quite frankly, created the group. Not only did it create the group, but it has set a standard within the cyberspace domain that very few have been able to within the cyberspace domain, but they have set the standard for the other 3 series Cyber Operations Group, the group. They're responsible for numerous senior leaders that are still leading our Air Force today. And I would venture to say they are building the leaders of tomorrow. Thank you for everything that you have done, Dragons. I hope you continue to forge on and make things better than you did yesterday. Colonel Howell, I just ask you that you treat them like family. When they know that they have your respect, they will climb the highest mountains and they will change the world. Steve Jobs once said that the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. I am sending you a squadron of crazy people, and I promise you, they will change the world. To the team down at Fort Gordon, it's not easy working with the Army. I recognize that. But we are excited at the airman power and the innovation and the drive that you bring to our Air Force and to the joint fight. What you do every day, not only combating the Army, but combating the enemy, is nothing short of amazing. And now that we're combining the power of our cyberspace airmen and our intelligence professionals, we have put together action and intent under one line of command and control. And so now it is clear to our airmen what their priorities, their taskings, and their delegations are, and they are free to focus on nothing short of executing the mission. And I am excited to see what you can bring to the CENTCOM commander, to Joint Force headquarters Army and globally, we are going to be effective. And we are going to show the world that that malign influence is wrong and that we are going to stop it. The actions across the 67th Cyber Operations Group have been pivotal. They have induced change within this domain. We have matured operations. We have operated with a discipline that has driven the lethality, that has caused us to drive and be excellent. It has supported our national security in more ways, and I am so proud to now flood the commander's inboxes with benchmarks and milestones that have been driven by our airmen. Former Deputy Secretary of Defense Wirt talked about the third offset, and we have fully brought to power capabilities that are innovative and driven change. But many forget that his second point was that we must have those capabilities. Today is the next step in driving change, national security environment, by driving capabilities to the Joint Force Commander. As we think about you being unified in thought and action, while the badges on our chest are significant, they don't carry significance in our group any longer. Today, we are united as one team, fighting one fight to protect and defend our country and our way of life. We are one family, and we will move forward as one family accomplishing that mission. I am excited for what the future holds. I am excited to see the power and innovation and drive that our airmen bring to the fight every single day. I know tomorrow will be better, and the next day will be even better than that. I am Air Force. God bless, amen, and have a great weekend. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Colonel Christine. At this time, Colonel Christian will perform the inactivation of Detachment 1, 67th Cyberspace Operations Group, and activate the 305th and 375th Cyberspace Operations Squadrons. Colonel Christian, ma'am, request permission to publish the activation orders. Attention to orders. Special order Golf TAC 20, TAC 11, dated 17 September 2020. Lieutenant Colonel Andrew D. Pisett is appoint command of 305th Cyberspace Operations Squadron, Fort Gordon, Georgia, effective 18 September 2020. Signed, Colonel Jeffrey A. Phillips, Commander, 67th Cyberspace Wing. Attention to orders. Special order Golf TAC 20, TAC 10, dated 17 September 2020, Lieutenant Colonel Louis F. Palacios is appointed in command of the 375th Cyberspace Operations Squadron, Joint Base San Antonio, Texas, effective 18 September 2020. Signed, Colonel Jeffrey A. Phillips, Commander, 67th Cyberspace Wing. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on this momentous day for the 67th Cyberspace Wing. The members of the 67th Cyberspace Wing are proud that our wing, the only full-spectrum cyberspace wing in the Air Force, assumed the new mission to organize, train, and equip these 21st century cyber warriors for cyber warfare. To complete our mission four groups now transition to take up their new roles in offensive, defensive, and enterprise domain operations and support ensuring that we will fulfill our responsibility to the Air Force and the United States of America. The playing of the Air Force song will signify the ending of our ceremony. Please remain in your places until the official party and special guests have departed the area. Please stand for the playing of the Air Force song. Give her the gun, give her the gun. Down we dive, spouting flames from under. Off with one hell of a roar. We live in fame or go down in flame. Hey, nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force.